Today's episode is a little bit of an intermission episode. With most of the news cycle dominated by the Activision Blizzard lawsuit, coupled with the Summer Games lull, the news is stretched pretty thin. We're going to give you the cliff notes, of course, but then we're going to spend some time highlighting the Emergent Gamer team itself. This is the Daily Reset. Good morning, gamers, and welcome to the Daily Reset, brought to you by the Emergent Gamer. Subscribe and tune in every morning to get all the biggest news stories as you start your day. We're on all major podcast platforms, and we also upload our shows to our YouTube channel if you'd like to listen there. I'm ther, and this is your news for July 28th, 2021. So, like I mentioned in the intro, this is going to be a little bit of an intermission episode. We're going to get you caught up on the newest news. Not that it's a lot today, but we're going to get you caught up on the newest news. But also kind of highlight the Emergent Gamer team ourselves. It's also a little bit of a test run for a new kind of casual way we do the show instead of being so scripted. So we'll see how it goes. First up, let's do some rapid fire news. Pretty much the single biggest news story we've talked about this past week is the Activision Blizzard lawsuit. It seems every day we hear about more people coming forward with their own experiences, as well as the company itself doubling down on not taking direct responsibility, calling the lawsuit irresponsible. Well, Bobby Kotick, the CEO of Activision Blizzard, finally addresses this in a way that employees probably are going to be happy about, saying that their response was tone deaf initially. This statement came last night after it was most likely aware to Activision leadership that there was going to be a massive walkout today, both in the office and virtually, of Activision Blizzard Studios. Now, to Kotick's credit, in his letter to employees, he does list actual actionable steps he's taking to make the company more accountable and to hopefully heal some of the hurt that's been done over the years. But a lot of employees, I'm sure, are going to feel like this is another empty gesture and too little too late. And we'll have to actually see how the actions impact the company instead of just more words. Animal Crossing New Horizons is actually getting some new content. There is an update planned for tomorrow, July 29th, that has fireworks added as a weekly event and some seasonal items. But players are upset because outside of a couple holiday events, like Bunny Day most recently, there hasn't been a lot of content added to the game after its first year. Well, Nintendo addressed this, saying that there are plans in the works and new content is in development for later this year. They say more information will be shared in the future, so please stay tuned. Thank you for your support and patience. Microsoft's revenue numbers are out for the fourth quarter of 2021, and what's really interesting is that gains were so strong for the company last year due to the COVID-19 pandemic lockdowns that they actually registered a slight revenue loss this year, specifically in content revenue. It dropped 4%. Now, their revenue was up 21%. Their overall hardware revenue was up 172%. Game revenue itself was 11% increase. It seems to just be the amount of third-party software not being purchased this year versus last year. Blame that on the pandemic, on Game Pass, whatever it may be. But it's a little bit wild that much extra gaming caused a decrease this year. And on our last short news update here, Pokemon Go developer Niantic banned a ton of players that should not have been banned when something about how their game was working triggered their anti-cheat system. Niantic says they are going to roll back all of these bans and reinstate the players. They don't have to reach out to the company. So, now that the news is done, how are we going to spend the rest of the episode? That's a great question. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to break down myself and the other hosts of the Emergent Gamer podcast, tell you where to find us, tell you what we're into, tell you what we game, so that if you're new to this show or to our show, you have a little bit of a background and know where to get started with finding us and our content around the internet. I'm going to start with an easy one, myself. I am ther. I do stream on Twitch. I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. roughly. On the channel, you're going to see a lot of Destiny, you're going to see a lot of Final Fantasy XIV, and you're going to see series playthroughs, and as well as single-player content for games that I'm really excited about and interested when new releases happen. For example, we just played Resident Evil, the entire series, front to back, ending with 8, which I had never played before, and that was a great experience. We definitely didn't skip Resident Evil 6. Wink. My Twitch is twitch.tv/trip0tv, and all the rest of my socials are also trip0tv, so I'm very easy to find out there. Next up, we have Mr. Felix Hergood. Now, Felix is taking a little bit of a hiatus from the stream scene. The past year, along with a changing job schedule, made it a little bit tough for him to get into a cadence, and he hasn't found time to stream again yet, though he does say it's happening in the future. When he's ready to stream again, you can find him on twitch.tv/Felix Hergood, and you can also find and interact with him on Twitter at Felix Hergood as well. Felix enjoys talking movies as much as talking about video games, and is a massive Fallout fan, and pretty much a Fallout 76 player from the very beginning. So if you got questions or comments or enjoy that game, he's your man for that content for sure. Next up is Mr. Neo Aoshi. Now, Neo joined our podcast as our resident PC expert and has since, in those years, convinced all of us, in some way, shape, or form, to get gaming PCs. Now, I say some way, shape, or form because Felix Hergood does have a PC that is capable of gaming on it, but he much prefers the console life. Neo Yoshi is a true variety streamer, streaming pretty much whatever he is in the mood for when he has time to stream. He is, however, a massive fan of the Metal Gear Solid series and Hideo Kojima as a director. So if you want to talk to him about something, that's your guaranteed in. You can find Neo on Twitch at twitch.tv/NeoAyoshi, and you can find him on Twitter at Neo_Ayoshi. And now we have founding member of the podcast, along with Felix Hergood, Mr. Lock and Key. Lock is a first-person shooter expert, in fact was a Halo pro back in college as well. After a long hiatus, Lock has begun streaming again, and you can catch him on Twitch playing Call of Duty Warzone or Destiny 2. His Twitch is twitch.tv/LockandKey, and his Twitter account is Lock_Key. Follow him there, as he does tweet when he's live. So that's the Emergent Gamer gang. If you've somehow missed me say it at the end of my Daily Reset episodes, there is a weekly show called the Emergent Gamer Podcast, which we all do every week on Wednesday nights, which is in fact tonight. I'm sure I'll be repeating that in the outro as well. We talk about the biggest news story of the week, roughly, and unpack that for a little bit after hanging out with the community and discussing what we've been up to individually on the show. It's about half and half. We get on a little bit early for a pre-show and hang out for a post-show as well with everyone who has chatted with us. We have an increased focus on guests this year, so you can look forward to more of that content in addition to our ramblings about what's going on in the gaming space. That's going to be it for this special episode of the Daily Reset on Wednesday, July 28th, 2021. Subscribe on your favorite podcast service to get up to speed in the gaming world every morning with me, your host, Trip0. And be sure to find and listen to our main show, the Emergent Gamer Podcast, live on twitch.tv/Emergent_Gamer on Wednesday nights, that's tonight, and then on podcast services the next day. Get the news with me and hear the in-depth discussion with the rest of us. I'll see you tomorrow.